Selenium is one of the most crucial minerals for proper testosterone production and fertility, and yet no one talks about it. And yet, when you're deficient in it, you have 30% less testosterone statistically. And no one talks about it. And the kicker is it's only present in one food in meaningful amounts. Obviously, you can supplement it, but the only real source of selenium is Brazil nuts. And like, who the fuck eats Brazil nuts? Come on. So, what's my authority on this? Do I know what how do I know what I'm talking about? I'm not a doctor. I don't like them. When I was 17, I looked like this. And you know, a picture is worth more than 1,000 words, so I don't have to talk over the fact that I look like a fucking woman. I developed like a woman through puberty. So it became my life's purpose to essentially increase my testosterone. I did everything. I bought every single supplement that had a correlation with it. I tried every single diet, every single workout split, every single fucking lifestyle modification, everything. And here, my goal here, my mission is to give you one by one tool after one tool, the tools so you can do that yourself. So you can make your own little toolbox and and do that for yourself if that resonates with you. So minimize the video, hit the subscribe button because this shit is shadow banned. YouTube doesn't promote like testosterone masculinity because it's misogynistic. So tell your mates as well. So let's talk about three key interactions that selenium has, right? So number one, we're going to talk about luteinizing hormone. What is luteinizing hormone? It's essentially a hormone which signals to the testicles to produce more testosterone, right? So when we have, for example, in our head, right, we're not going to go into like the hypothalamus and all that shit, but we have in pulsatile secretions this hormone called gonadotropin releasing hormone, and that is released, and that stimulates the production of luteinizing hormone, right? This is stimulating, and this happens in the head. This happens in the brain, right? More precisely. And then this hormone right here, it travels down to the testes. It also travels to other places, whatever, but you know, mainly in the testes. And it couples to, it's called like a G-coupled receptor, whatever, like scientific bullshit. And essentially it activates, on that receptor, it activates such a thing called CAMP. It upregulates it. CAMP upregulates star protein, right? Star protein. And star protein is basically the protein that's responsible for seeing cholesterol in the blood, taking it and bringing it into the cell so it can be made into testosterone, right? So this is basically like a pretty deep but not, you know, not too scientific way of doing it. So everything is basically controlled, right, by hormones, by signaling, right? Our body is nothing more than like, it's just signaling, right? Also our genes. We have our genes, but the way they're expressed is a bit different, and you can change the way they're expressed. And one of the ways, for example, is to increase your testosterone, so you change those genes that you want to change, right? Physical performance, masculine gene expression, etc., etc. So what essentially selenium does, selenium is located when you ingest it. It's concentrated in the cells of the kidneys, the thyroid, we're going to talk about in a bit, and the testicles, right? And one of the things it does is it essentially makes it so that this process, right, when luteinizing hormone goes into the testicles, couples to the receptor and increases CAMP inside the cell, that this process is basically more sensitive, that this happens better in a more efficient way, right? This is what it does, LH. So obviously, you know, because it resides on the testicles, it makes the receptor work better. It's called the G protein coupled receptor, whatever, like, I'll leave it to the scientists. So that's number one, right? So LH sensitivity. Now, and as you can see, LH is extremely crucial, right? Because it is what actually signals to the testes to produce testosterone. So let's talk about number two. Number two is, this is gonna sound gay as fuck, but it's oxidative stress. So I know that you probably correlate, because I used to do the same, you probably correlate like, it's an antioxidant with like white girls and shit, like doing yoga and drinking fucking like lemon juice with this and that, like, you know what I mean? But truth is, man, especially in nowadays, in the world we're living today, like this shit, oxidative stress, right? Oxidative damage, this shit is prevalent, right? Think about BPA, plastics, they're essentially everywhere. I'm literally touching plastics right now. You're drinking plastics in water. And by the way, the skin, like it absorbs that shit. It's not like you can touch it and nothing happens. No, you absorb it. Think about the car. You're driving a car that has a very warm, steering wheel and all the shit in the car. You're touching that, that's plastic. It gets absorbed. Let alone the shit you drink inside of plastic bottles. Like you can be religious with it, you can filter out your water, but you're still gonna ingest plastic. What about the meat you buy, right? The meat you buy, okay, sure, it's in the fridge, whatever, but it's got plastic. Everything is covered in plastic, and BPA is there, and other plastics, and that shit is oxidative stress. What about fluoride? Fluoride in the water, right? Mercury from fish, right? Fish have more mercury in tuna. We like tuna, we eat tuna, and yet there's more mercury, right? Heavy metals, toxicity, that's oxidative stress. So antioxidants and all these things, we like that. When there's an antioxidant that works on our testicles, like selenium does, I told you selenium sticks to the cells of the testicles, right? It resides there. It's an antioxidant. So it reduces, right? It reduces BPA toxicity. BPA toxicity. It reduces, what did I say? Toxic metals, right? Heavy metal toxicity. Heavy metal toxicity. What does oxidative stress do? It causes damage, right? Inflammation, all that stuff. It makes the cells work less. So anything that is an antioxidant, especially in the region that we're interested in, that produces our babies and our testosterone, we want to increase that. So that works wonders, right? Number 2. Number 3, do you know what I don't have the fucking thing here. Number 3 is its effect on metabolism, right? So I already talked about this before, but our metabolism is controlled by 2 hormones, right? One of them is called human growth hormone, right? HGH. And the other one is called thyroid hormone. Now, just like testosterone has its building block, that is cholesterol, and LDL obviously, but that's less important, but cholesterol. Similarly, the thyroid hormone also has, this time it's 3, it has 3 building blocks, right? So the first one is iodine, right? The second one is L-tyrosine, it's basically an amino acid, it's an essential amino acid. And the third one, you guessed it, it's selenium. These 3 things, they are the building blocks of the thyroid hormone, which controls metabolism. Now, the metabolism, in my opinion, it's your metabolism, your ability to create energy from food. It's probably the most important thing in your body, right? Your ability to have energy levels. Keep in mind, why do we do this? Why do we want to increase testosterone and free testosterone and take supplements, right? Why do we want to do all this shit? It's not to have numbers on a screen. No, it's to live a tremendous life, full of energy, full of adventures, full of take risks and do things and experience stuff. And you know what I mean? Feel good, feel like a man, achieve stuff, achieve goals, have energy to do that, right? Be driven. Now, if you produce more energy because you have a higher metabolism, because your thyroid hormone works, right? There's also ways to increase the human growth hormone, but whatever. Then that's tremendous. So selenium is one of the 3 building blocks to do that. So I don't have to sell it more. It's crucial. The analogy I always say, you start off being a Toyota Yaris, you burn 5.5 liters every 100 kilometers, right? Your metabolism is low, but you have 1.5 horsepower. You do that shit and then you have 550 horsepower. You're a BMW M4, and bro, the street is yours. Do you know what I mean? Because you've upregulated that. Yes, you need to eat more food. You need to eat more fats, but what happens with that food? If you eat more cholesterol, more testosterone is made. Cholesterol is the building block of hormones, right? Metabolism, tremendous, selenium. Like I said in the start of the video, there's one significant source of selenium, right? And that is Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts. Now, one Brazil nut, one BN, Brazil nut, has about 96 micrograms of selenium, right? 96 micrograms. The daily recommended limit is about 200. That's sort of like what's recommended. And truth be told, anything above 400, toxicity has been shown through research, right? So let's stick to 200. So if the recommended daily allowance is 200 micrograms, then naturally in two Brazil nuts and like a little bit, you should be able to reach it. Not necessarily, not precisely, because since it's a nut, right? It's not like a meat or an egg, which has a very high bioavailability of nutrients. The bioavailability of Brazil nut selenium is approximately 60%, right? Similarly to supplement, this is the best form of selenium in supplement. This also has 60%, right? Bioavailability. That means how much of it is actually absorbed through the gut, taking into consideration all the factors, plant toxins, etc., right? So one Brazil nut has about 60%, so naturally you can deduce that you need 4 Brazil nuts, and you have and there you go. You have the recommended daily allowance, right? And you're happy. So that's what you can do. You can just take Brazil nuts. They're not, they're definitely going to be cheaper than the supplementation, and you can take that with your meal, with your supper, for example. I wouldn't take it with my first meal. I like to break my fast. I'm religious about it, and I recommend it to everybody. Your first meal should not have any plants other than fruit, right? Just have purely bioavailable nutrients, because when you do break your fast, your body overcompensates for the nutrients. It upregulates the enzymes, everything, because you fasted for 16, 18, 20, 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever you like to fast. And you're just going to have the efficiency of those minerals, of how your body uses those minerals, is going to be much higher, right? So you can take it with your supper, whatever, it's like 60% bioavailable, tremendous. Or, like I said, you can take your supplement. Take your supplement in the morning, so it's going to increase the bioavailability. You're going to take it with all the other supplements, because the first meal will not have those anti-minerals, phytotoxins, tannins, oxalates, all these things that basically hinder your absorption in the gut, right? Simple. 200 milligrams, that's about 4 Brazil nuts, or you can just take a supplement which also has 200 milligrams. Now, when it comes to the other foods, right, let's, on a side note, turkey has about, whatever it has, but in order to get 200 micrograms, you would need to eat approximately 700 grams of turkey to get the same amount. About 800 grams chicken breast, but chicken. About 400 grams of halibut, and because it works the same, 400 or sardines, or about 14 large eggs. That's if you want to get 200 micrograms, right? Now, obviously, these things are very bioavailable. They don't have those phytonutrients, those anti-nutrients, because phytonutrients are good. But I mean, like 14 eggs. I eat 12 eggs, and I consider myself like absolutely a freak. Like, sure, there are people who eat 36 eggs a day, but like 12 eggs, that's a lot. Imagine eating 14 large eggs. I eat like 12 medium eggs, do you know what I mean? And like 400 grams of halibut per day. Do you know what I mean? This is unrealistic. 800 grams of chicken, that's not going to happen. Like, you can do this for like a week. And how much protein is that, right? That's like, 200 grams of protein just from chicken, not counting all the other sources. So, Brazil nuts is the way to go. I don't have to sell you anything more. So I think we're done. We talked about how important it is. We talked about 3 key interactions. We talked about where to get it from. You can supplement, and obviously if you do supplement, take your supplement with your supplement regimen that is early in the morning. And we also talked about that you can just take 4 Brazil nuts, and it's going to be definitely cheaper. And take those Brazil nuts, it's best to take them with your dinner, right? Because, it's nuts, they're plants. They do have those anti-nutrients. So we're done, basically. So for all of you killers, this was a short video, so maybe there's more of you. No, but for all of you killers, if this resonates with you, if what I'm talking about hits, if the problems I faced and what I showed here, my blood work, right? I didn't say this, but I have 1,500 nanograms per deciliter. This is what I achieved doing these things. If that shit hits, if that shit resonates with you, then you've come to the right place. Now, you have 2 options here. You can subscribe and continue watching my stuff. I'm basically going to post twice a week, and it's going to be full of value. every single minute detail I learned through those years of implementing, learning, trying things out, essentially being an N of 1 experiment, right, a guinea pig. Or you can click the link below. It's basically a link to my calendar. You can book 30 minutes with me. It's free. We're getting to know each other. And if it reaches that far, if I see that you have certain character traits that are required, I'm going to make you an offer if we like each other, right? It's basically a 3-month coaching program. It's a very sort of my way of doing it. And if you want to make habits, bro, I'm not going to sell it to you, but if you want to like become who you want to be in 2 years, this is where it starts. It starts by making these habits that will last. It starts by doing the cold shower every single day without fail, unless you're sick, until the day you die. It starts by eating the first meal without any plans, with all your supplements. You gotta know which supplements to take until the day you fucking die, right? And this is how you're bio-optimized. This is how you become a freak of nature. And you know, even if you're struggling with like psychological stuff, spiritual stuff, trust me, I got through that. Like, I didn't just have a fucked up biology. I had a fucked up spirituality and a fucked up psychology as well. So, yeah. But I make content about this because this is the highest leverage, right? Biochemistry drives behavior. So I'll see you in a bit. Yeah.